right? So textual function. Where do we use textual functions? Usually when you are sorting your data, when you are doing your data cleaning, because like I said, your data doesn't come clean. So in some instances, you have to use other means, whether to combine parts or to take parts from a whole, whether you want to format your data, you want to do substitution, you want to remove spaces, etc. So here I've tried to include all the possible formulas that you can even use. Okay, so we have the trim function. What does the trim function do? Trim function removes it removes spaces, trailing spaces, either before or after. And you can see here on this student one, there is a space before. So if you are to say trim this, and let me put borders here. So that we see. You can see that the leftmost space has been removed. Let's drag the formula down. Same applies here. There is a space that was here and it has been removed. So that's simply what trim does. You can even say equals to L trim sorry. I'm now getting lost here. L trim is a function of for SQL. So here, that's it. You are just removing spaces. Then concatenate. So for concatenate, let me say I have first name. I want to use another example here. Surname. Maybe let me give you new surnames that are easy. Maybe these are your surnames. You can see that these are in different in different columns. And for concatenation, you want full name. We'll say equals to concat this, but we want a space in between. So we'd say open quote, space, close quote, then this. We now have a full name. That's concatenation. Right? I think in simple terms, that's it. But there are other ways to do it. You can just come here and say this and that. But this is not necessary. We already have a formula for concatenation where you can combine the two. Substituting. Suppose you have an error here. It's saying student and you want it to be student. So the formula substitute B for D. You can do the substitution. Then upper and lower, this is simple. Upper, it converts every text to uppercase. Upper of this, it converts every letter to uppercase. Then this everything to what? To lowercase. Then we have proper. So proper it creates sentence cases. As you know that in English, every sentence you have to start with a capital letter. So it's a proper sentence. So those are some of the formulas. So proper. Suppose you receive data that is dirty, capital letters, small letters, you can use proper to clean it. Then suppose you have account numbers for customers, and these are you want to verify if there are any issues. You can just verify maybe by checking the length to see are there any anomalies. As you can see, and this includes the spaces. So the length of this is 9, this is 11, and if you can count, you see that it's including spaces that are in between every spacing. So this is just to check the length. Right. I think here you have to pay particular attention. Left, right, and mid. Okay. Okay, let's take this. We want to reproduce that result. So left, right, and mid. You meet scenarios where you would want to use these ones. Suppose you have a system, an ERP or something, or your database, or you have done data collection yourself, and you have a QR code like this, which is starting with a name, code, and value combined, right? So the QR code is it's combining the year of manufacture, the product ID, and the group for that product. But it's in a QR code. You are creating QR codes for your company, and you can see that maybe you are in retail. In most of our point of sale, you'll be scanning. Maybe that's how we create our QR codes to identify the product. So we want to retrieve the year of manufacture there. We use left. Why? The year of manufacture is leftmost, is on the left. Left. How many characters? We want 4. We now have what? 2018. And we can drag our formula downwards. We now have our year of manufacture. Product ID, which is that alpha code, A, B, C, D, E, is on the first QR code. So we want that. It's neither on the left nor the right, but it's on the mid. So we use the mid formula. Mid of this, we are starting. So the IntelliSense is telling us, highlight the text, then the next argument is the starting number. 2018, that's 4 characters. Then the following, we are starting at 5. Then number of characters, 5. So we extract that what? Product ID. So in some instances, your data will come not clean. So you need to have these skills to clean it up and pick what you want. Then the group is the last number. Equals to right of this. Then number of characters we want to. So we now have the group. Isn't this beautiful?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So, yeah, those are some of the touches that you need to have on your fingertips, because they can rescue you in some instances where you are stuck. So left, right, and mid, these formulas, but maybe you can reserve this for now. Suppose the QR code is having variable length. The first one is 5, and I think for this one it is standard. It has 5 characters, right? Suppose it is 5, 7, 10, 11 characters. How do you go about it? If you do it this way, you will miss some of the codes and your result will be wrong, right? So maybe you can hold on. You see how we can counter that problem by using other advanced formulas, maybe a combination. Okay, that's it. So let's go to this tab, and here I have a bunch of formulas that you can refer to. Trim, we have explained proper, upper, lower, length, left, right, mid. We have search, right? So search, what does search do? It finds the position of a character that you input, and it's not case sensitive. For example, we want to find the position of goes to search, find text, sorry, find text, this, within text, this, and we have a starting argument which is in square brackets, which is optional, so we can leave it. Let's close. So it's on number 14, right? Like this. So you can see that maybe you'll be doing some forensic analysis or something. You can use this to search maybe some hidden patterns that are in your data set. We have find as well. Search is not case sensitive. If you put a capital letter A and a small letter A, it will be picked as the same. So find is now case sensitive. So it's the same function as what? As a search, but this is case sensitive. Substitute, for example, here, right? For the employee ID, suppose we want to replace the EMP that is at the first there. Substitute text here. Old text that you want to substitute, it's EMP. New text, maybe you want to substitute with ID. So you see that instead of EMP 001, it's now ID 001, and so forth. So substitution, it helps in your data cleaning. And maybe let me explain how you can use the left. Suppose you have your phone number. Maybe you have you are a multinational company. You don't have the country here, but you have the phone numbers with the country code, right? And you have a database somewhere there that is country and country codes, and you want to pick, so you can come here and say left of this, and you want to pick 3 items. You now have your country code. 263 is Zim, 260 is Zambia, 254 is Kenya. So you can then do a VLOOKUP from your country codes table to pick up the country name. Yeah, right? So good example there. Replace. You can replace text as well. CONCAT, we explained this. So we can use TEXTJOIN as well to join text like CONCAT, right? Right here, text before. Suppose you are given only emails only, but you don't have the client names, but you want to extract the names from the email. You would say equals to text before. Here, text before this sign, right? You now have your names, right? Though they have this dot in between, but you are somewhere, and you can actually go a long way. Suppose let's paste this as a value. You can go the rudimentary way, where you can say, now I have my names using the text before. Text before, which means it's taking everything that is below the H sign, which means it's picking what? So this is text before. Text after. Maybe let me explain that maybe before I go. And maybe you want to split this. You can then come here on data, text columns, next, other. You can say a dot, next, and finish. And you have splitted it. And you are working and you are doing your data cleaning. You now have your first name and your what? And your last name. But so that's text before. We have text after. So this is just similar. So maybe want to pick the company name. Suppose where it's saying at company.com, maybe there are different companies. The domain will say text after. This text, then we want every text that is after that at sign. So you can see that it's picking the company names at company.com. And suppose here you want just to pick the numbers on the, you can say text after EMP. Sorry, it's not E, it's now B. So text after EMP is the ID, the actual number. So it's important that you know this. Any questions before we move on? Hi team.
I have no question.
It's clear, right?
Yes.
That's fine. So that's text before and text after. Uh, where am I? Text join. I think I had to text before, after. Right? So we can use text split as well. So suppose we want to split that email into email and company and domain. We say text split this. Column delimiter is the @ sign. You see, it creates these two columns. So it's just coming there and splits these two into two columns, and there you are. So this is your text split, and you can also do value. This converts extracted text to a number. For example, on this one, we would just say value outside here, and it converts this to a number because it was formatted as a text. Okay, that's value for you. Text, format number is text and is the opposite of this. Choose, it picks the third value from the list. For example, that one. You can then experiment some of these formulas, but maybe what I want to explain is the choose columns, right? So let me remove this. Right, suppose we do our text split. Goes to text split, we split this column by delimiter of this, then that. We said it gives us the name and the company name. So now I want to show you how you can as well do nested function, right? So what we want to do there, we don't want the company name, but we want to choose the first column number. We want 1. So it just gives us what? The first. So choose calls. It's short for choose columns. So what it's doing is when we say text split, it's splitting this into 2 columns. But if we introduce choose columns before text split and we put an argument of 1, it gives us the, if we put 2 here, it's going to give us what? The company name. So if we say 2, it's going to pick the second column. So we want 1, and we want to put another formula outside there. Right? We want to split this into, I want to confuse you a bit. We want now to split this again into first name and second name. We can come again here outside and say we can do text split again on this by delimiter. Delimiter where do is what? They are separated by a dot. Okay, and we have our first name, right? Something like that. So for us to have okay, so maybe to have first name and last name, we can do the splitting again here on why is it not working? Let me see. We are saying text split. This, right? Then we need to choose columns. So the advantage of this is you can create even your automated worksheet where you just maybe upload your monthly data and everything else will be calculated. We can even say choose rows as well. Then here, I think before this we can then say text split. That it's giving us only the first name. Okay, I think I'll have to research on this one, but that's the whole idea. It should then give us the first name and the last name. Okay, there is choose rows as well, which can return selected rows, especially for assembling text before, text after, concatenate, left plus search. So this one is answering that question when I said suppose now the product code is of variable length. We can then use the right plus length plus search to come up to dynamically pick what the length. So I'm expecting you to do this. There is the project for this particular segment. It's covering all this. So if you manage to do that project and finish, you will be having this at your fingertips. So